Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Spring Cup showcasing another very powerful team featuring Empoleon. Empoleon has a lot of very strong play in this meta, and I have been using it quite a bit, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. Of course, Empoleon with that steel typing, that cannot be denied. Very good answer to Tentacruel and other Pokemon in this meta. And speaking of Tentacruel, we got Tentacruel in the back on this team here. So Empoleon is the safe swap generally, and Tentacruel in the back to close. We all know the story on Tenta by now. Easily the best Pokemon in the entire meta, in my humble opinion. Very strong, very bulky. And also on this team, we have Shiftry on the lead. Just because, I enjoy using Shiftry. I don't get to use it very often. It is a very good answer to a lot of things, most notably Trevenant and Ferrothorn. But if you're uncomfortable with using Shiftry, on the fence, not too sure, you could easily put Abomasnow in Shiftry's place and do just fine. I just thoroughly enjoy using Shiftry. If you haven't thought about using Empoleon, might not be a bad idea. It is quite solid, but here we go. Tentacruel lead. This is a very common lead, I'm sure we all know by now, and that is the power of Shiftry, able to hit so hard that even neutral damage proves to be quite meaningful. That's half the health on one of the bulkiest Pokemon in the meta. That's insane. So we get that chip damage and we come in with Empoleon, and they meet us with an excellent answer in the form of Venusaur. But the beauty of Empoleon is it has grass coverage, has access to Drill Peck, which basically one-shots just about every grass type in the entire meta. And we know that. So this Venusaur is choosing to overfarm and take advantage of us, and it's going to cost them. We knew that we won CMP tie, which is why we were comfortable triggering that after shielding. They were either going to have to give us Switch or give us both of their shields, and they choose to give up both shields, and that's fine. You take that. That's about as much as you could possibly ask for a good, solid safe swap on any team, and they are going to look to pressure us with a potential frenzy plan here. We will shield that up. Shiftry, not known for its bulk, and they look to combo play us. This can only be a Scald here, which is resisted. We're not known for our bulk, but we can tank. We can tank some damage, and we're going to bank that energy and come back in with our own Tentacruel onto theirs, and this is gonna be going quite well for us because we do have the health advantage. We're just gonna overfarm to the moon and look to take out this opposing Tentacruel with a resisted Scald. We wanted to poison jab it into Scald range, and it was definitely there. As we saw, it goes down. Now shields are down. Speaking of down, shields are down on both ends. This Venusaur is energy dry, so we're gonna throw before they can get to their third, or actually they're on their sixth cycle again, but we didn't want to mess around. And no, they've got a Dugong. Okay, you don't see these too often. When I saw that typing, I thought for sure it was a Walrein, but we have nothing to fear here. Gonna drop that attack. Switch timer was up, so we're going for a combo play, and we all know how hard Shiftry hits, nearly one-shotting a very tanky Pokemon. And Dugong, more like Dugong. It's Dugong as we do close with our Tentacruel. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Had to break up the monotony of the Spring Cup by rolling with Shiftry on this team. But like I said, if you're uncomfortable with Shiftry or you don't have one, you can just use Abomasnow. It works just fine. And speaking of Abomasnow, we had one on the lead, make a play into Tentacruel, and they counter swap us with Tentacruel's worst nightmare coming in the form of Lantern. Lantern and Ferrothorn are the hardest checks to Tentacruel in this meta, and we do draw it out here, which is good because Empoleon does not want to see this. They will go Thunderbolt. Does big damage to us, and it is looking like we will make it to another Acid Spray in time here. So gonna throw this and look to get ahead with Shiftry as we come back in. And right about here, Tentacruel is so big, like I didn't notice that they had stopped attacking. So what they're trying to do here is they're trying to bargain with us. They're saying, hey, I'm going to be very weak and helpless to your Shiftry, so could you please bail me out here, buddy? get me super low so that I have a better chance of beating you. Do me a favor here. No, I wish I had caught on to that sooner, but yeah, I was just... I didn't notice. Tentacruel is so big, takes up so much of the screen. But they have a Mawile. We throw a foul play expecting the Abomasnow. So they do tank that foul play. Did big damage as Mawile is quite squishy. And now we counter swap with our Empoleon. They bring in the Abomasnow here. And they let that drill peck go. That was absolutely insane to see. I don't know what our opponent is doing. They have yet to shield anything. Gonna let this go, calling it as the weather ball. And we do successfully call that. And now these waterfalls are resisted and absolutely adding up on the Abomasnow. The play here now is to farm this Abomasnow down, and we know that that Mawile is hanging on by a thread as well. So gonna let this go. Probably should have shielded this as well. And the Mawile is at a power-up punch, so that's where we were saving the shield, because I recognize the win condition is to shield this. Worth the shield to get that one waterfall through. As we can see, one Snarl will do the trick. And our opponent has gone down with 2 shields. Unfortunate for them. Good game, well played to them. Oh, Empoleon was so good with this team. It is very underutilized in this meta, I must say. But we had a juicy almost said Tentacruel Lantern lead. And they are very weak to a Shiftry here. So as they do bring in a Ferrothorn. So Shiftry I like against Ferrothorn because it hits like an absolute truck. We will shield up the Flash Cannon. It does not one-shot, but it comes very close to one-shotting. Uncomfortably close, definitely worth shielding. And we are just going to overload. Tried to play to the CMP, but they go for the extra. That is fine. Going to go for this foul play here, and they let that go. That is beautiful. We will take that. We don't want any part of a Ferrothorn with our backline, and they've got a Roserade, so gonna pressure a shield here with a Leaf Blade bait. I think they saw how hard the foul play hit, so yeah, they're gonna absolutely shield that up. We were successful in baiting. Gonna bring Tentacruel in here and draw back out that Lantern. Gonna go for the Acid Spray. See, it's like these matchups where I think Sludge Wave might be the way to go, but Scald is not bad either. It's still, so if you throw Scald on the grass types, it still does decent amount of resisted damage. So it's, I don't know. We're rolling with Scald for now. And they're going to look to put us out of our misery and take us out. That is beautiful. So now our Shiftry, still relatively healthy, going to come in and take out this Lantern here. And we know that Empoleon, although at a type disadvantage up against that Roserade, will do just fine. And they do have a move stored, and they're going to throw that here. Gonna let Shiftry go. The Roserade is at about 50% health. That is beautiful. We will take that. This is basically farm down range for Empoleon. Would you believe that? Roserade is so squishy that it is in danger of getting completely farmed down with our resisted waterfalls. And that is exactly what will play out. As we are double resisting these poison jabs with our steel typing, the weather balls only hit for neutral. And yeah, we just shield up the second one and farm the Roserade down to Funky Town. You absolutely love to see it. Good game, well played to them. Oh, the steel typing on Empoleon coming in super clutch in that last one. And here we go. Another juicy Lantern lead with our Shiftry. They make a play into a Weezing, and we meet this with Empoleon. So we're making a team read here, friends. If they lead Lantern, safe swap Weezing, you can bet the house that there's a Mawile in the back. That's the most common backline on a Lantern lead. On paper, in theory, it should be very effective, but I've tried it a couple times and I did not have a fun time with it, let's just say. But we do shield up the overheat there. There was a very good chance that they would go right for that overheat, so we're going to tank the second one, knowing that they've lowered their attack by 2 stages. They are now debuffed to the max, so we can let this brutal swing go. It will now do laughable damage with the debuffs and look to go for the farm down. This is beautiful. This could not have worked out any better. We take out the Weezing, win switch, and leave with loaded energy and minimal health. There is nothing more you could possibly ask for, and we will go down to a Spark. That was the best case scenario. They're going to align Shiftry back onto it, and there it is, right on cue. Mawile lurking in the back, and we had just the answer to a potential Mawile in the form of our Tentacruel, as we are resisting this fast move pressure. We resist everything all across the board, which is why Tentacruel is the worst nightmare as well. Worst matchup for Mawile in this entire meta. That Scald does big damage. They let that go, and we are going to farm down with neutral poison jabs here. Or actually single resisted, and they do top left. As we see, the research task did update. They waved the white flag. Understandable. Not a whole lot they could have done with our team. Good game, well played to them. Oh, Empoleon has been so much fun in these past few days. I've been running it a lot, and I really don't know why it's not as heavily utilized as it should be. But here we go. Beautiful lead coming in the form of Trevenant, and speaking of beautiful, they make a beautiful catch. They catch a foul play onto their Walrein. So we're going to meet this with our Empoleon. We are double resisting this fast move pressure. We just have to be very careful of an EQ, that one shot. So the way you play a Walrein safe swap, if they catch, that's fine. That's beautiful for you because they're taking damage, but you have to just 2-shield everything and hope for the best. You're hoping that they don't double bait you. They'll usually single bait and then go for the EQ. Well worth the 2 shields because Walrein is generally behind a Trevenant on the lead. So you do want to align Shiftry onto that, if at all possible. And speaking of Trevenant, they do come back in, and because we were able to farm down, we pressure their final shield with a super effective Drill Peck. Gonna let this go. Could be a Shadow Ball, but most likely just a Seed Bomb here, and we do let that go. It does not KO, and we just can't quite get to that Drill Peck. That's okay. We had an amazing answer to Trevenant anyways, and we have a shield advantage. They have a Tentacruel of their own, so gonna align our own Tentacruel onto this, as our Shiftry does take super effective damage from those poison jabs with Stab. And they're going Acid Spray here. So if you guys watched my very first video on the Spring Cup and the mirror matchup with Tentacruel, you just want to go for the Scalds, guys. It does more damage, and you will win if they continue to go straight Acid Spray. And that is exactly what it looks like they are doing here. They are not playing this correctly, but perhaps they just want to lower our defense to the max to maybe give their Trevenant a chance to get a healthy farm down. So we are aware of that, and we're not going to let that happen. This is just another Acid Spray. Of course, it will not KO. Although our defense has been debuffed by 4 stages, which is the maximum, we will look to simul KO here. That is beautiful. Didn't want to throw the move because we did not want to give that Trevenant farm. That is what they were angling for, and that worked out beautifully. Gonna shield out the potential Shadow Ball. It is a Seed Bomb bait, but we were just one snarl off from the foul play, which will absolutely allow us to say bye-bye to the Trevenant. And Shiftry has closed the game in dominant fashion. That's going to be a good game, well played. Another replacement for Shiftry, if you're uncomfortable with using it, or if you don't have one, would be Trevenant as well. But here we go. We were matched up against a member of my Discord, Jamie. So I was making a team read here. Whenever I see Tentacruel lead, I'm always thinking it's got to be team number 3 from my top 5 best teams, which runs with Abomasnow and Trevenant in the back. So we go into Empoleon hoping to draw out the Trevenant so that we can align Shiftry onto it. But Jamie is staying in here on this matchup, perhaps a little bit too long, and he does come in with the Abomasnow. So not going to give us the Trevenant we want. Playing very well here, and we're going to go for the Drill Peck, as we did overfarm by quite a bit. Jamie tanks that like a champ, and now we will shield this. We want to keep Empoleon healthy. We don't want Empoleon to go down because we need that for that Tentacruel, so we pivot into our own Tentacruel to try and take it out in time, but we weren't able to do that. It's just a resisted Weather Ball, and there it is. We wanted to pivot. We want that Trevenant out on the field here, so we got what we wanted because we know our Empoleon is still very healthy enough to handle that Tentacruel, even from this health range, as Empoleon with the Steel typing double resist the fast move pressure. That is huge. And now Jamie going to go for a neutral Seed Bomb, and hopefully try and go for a farm down. I would expect that would be the play. Not quite gonna get it, so gonna just get rid of our Tentacruel with the Seed Bomb, and now we can align Shiftry, although Tentacruel really put in a lot of work on this Trevenant, making it very easy for Shiftry. Gonna wait the switch timer, expecting the immediate counter swap back into the Tentacruel, and gonna let this go. Nothing that they throw will KO. They've already showed Acid Spray, which is a good indicator that he's not running Sludge Wave, but I don't know. Because that's all he's thrown thus far is Acid Sprays. I gave him a little, let him know in the Discord. Maybe throw a few too many of those Acid Sprays, but it is okay. Not a big deal. And going Acid Spray here, that's definitely not the play that is double resisted. You just want to go for the Scalds if you have the move. I'll have to... Jamie, were you running Sludge Wave or were you running Scald? I never found out. But yeah, this is looking like lights out here. Going to pressure that final shield with a Drill Peck, and we are just one Snarl off. Leaf Blade is all we need to take out the Trevenant. It is hanging on by a thread, and shouts to you, Jamie. Again, member of my Discord. Good game, well played to you, brother. One thing that I was really impressed with Empoleon on this team is the amount of resisted damage these waterfalls do to the grass types. They just hit a bit different coming from Empoleon, I must say. But we had a Whiscash, that's an amazing lead. Brave Soul running a Mud Boy in this meta, holy smokes. But they safe swap Walrein, and we do meet this with our Empoleon, as we are double resisting the fast move pressure. And like I said previously, guys, you just have to double shield and hope for the best. You're hoping that they don't double bait, but they generally don't. The general play pattern is bait once, then go for the EQ. But sometimes they will just go right for the EQ and try to throw you off guard. So we're not risking that at all, as we want the Whiscash 100% on our Shiftry and nowhere near our Tentacruel. And if you 2-shield, if they bait once and go EQ, they will not make it to another EQ in time. And we do get the farm down, leaving relatively healthy, down 2 shields, but we don't need shields if we get the alignment we need. And they've got a Trevenant in the back. We've got loaded energy, going to fire off a Drill Peck here. It does not KO, but does big damage to the Trevenant, and we've got another one locked and loaded. They are going to now have to start shielding if they want to hope for perhaps winning this matchup here, and they do shield. We're going to make it to another Drill Peck in time, and we do, but it looks like they caught it onto the Whiscash. Good on them for that. There's just not a whole lot they can do. Empoleon just absolutely putting in a metric ton of work. You love to see it, and they will not make it to a Blizzard in time. Gonna fire off this Leaf Blade here. Of course, it does one shot coming from a Shiftry, and that is saying a lot because Whiscash, one of the bulkier Mud Boys you could possibly run, but Shiftry does not care. We're saying bye-bye to the Whiscash, and now the Trevenant is just about toast, and they do top left. There was not much hope there. Good game, well played to them. Oh, I was having a lot of fun. Definitely give Empoleon a try if you're still rolling with the Spring Cup here. And here we go. Awful lead coming in the form of Shadow. Shiny Mawile, what a flex. We make the play into Tentacruel and we draw out a Ferrothorn. Okay, so this is fine. Shiftry does quite well against Ferrothorn. Not going to shield anything. Not likely that we grab a shield either. So the play is to weaken their defense with an Acid Spray. And I didn't think that they would allow us to get this Scald off, so we just go for the double debuff, thinking that they would throw before we got to the Scald, but it looks like they are just happy to over-farm here, so that's okay. They're going to throw in here and likely try to get to a Flash Cannon, my goodness. But we're not going to allow that to happen. They will not make it to a Flash Cannon in time. We want to preserve Shiftry because that's our heavy hitter, guys. You never know if it could come in handy. And they do come in with the Mawile. We meet this with our Empoleon, and they've got a Roserade here. So look at this Roserade get so far ahead on energy. Looks like there was some weird stutter lag there. They got way more energy than they should. And we noticed that, so we're hoping that we don't get cheated out of this matchup here because we should be able to win this in the 2-shield no problem. Gonna shield up everything. We want to preserve health and try and get some meaningful fast move pressure in on that Mawile. Gonna throw the drill peck here. This will likely grab the final shield, and we should be able to farm down from here, guys. They should not make it to a grass move, but they do. That really ticked me off. There is no way we had the energy lead. There's no way they should have been able to make it to a grass knot in time. There was some weird stutter lag as they came in. Run it back and have a look if you happen to miss that. But we should have absolutely gotten that farm down, left healthy enough to really put in work on this Mawile to make it easier for Shiftry to take it out. But we were not allowed to do that for whatever reason. But good game, well played to them. I guess we couldn't quite get a perfect 5-0. We had to lose one, right, guys? What fun is it watching us just win the whole time? But yeah, that is the team. Good game, well played to the opponent. I've been running Empoleon a lot, guys. I see tremendous value with it. With the steel typing, handles Tentacruel quite well, even at a type disadvantage. It's supposed to handle Roserade quite well, amongst many, many others in this meta. So it is a underutilized pick, quite slept on. Definitely should be more utilized than it is, and I had a lot of fun with it, as we saw in this video. And again, we're rolling with Shiftry just to shake it up a little bit, break out of the monotony of the Spring Cup this far into the meta. So we're rolling Shiftry as our grass type on the lead, but as I mentioned throughout the video, if you don't have a Shiftry and you're not comfortable running one, you can go Abomasnow or Trevenant. They will both do just fine in the place of Shiftry. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.